Welcome into What's at the Forefront. I'm Corin Davis, joined by Max Preston. We're here to bring you everything from local to national sports. Max
We're gonna have fun, right?
We're gonna have fun. Max is our numbers guy, so he's gonna give us everything we need to know on odds and predictions with upcoming events. It's gonna be a good time. Local. We're starting there because we have some major local topics, developments that have happened over the last several weeks. Specifically, Tascosa girls basketball beating Lubbock Monterey 51-45 last night. Huge win for them. I was there at the game. Balanced offensive attack. They were able to contain Ambrosia Cole as best they could, still scored 28 points on them. But a huge win, no doubt. Breaking news, Emily Sims out for the remainder of the season due to an injury. Max, how will this impact the Lady Rebels moving forward?
Yeah, I wouldn't be lying if I said there was no impact. Huge impact. I mean, she's a playmaker. Was definitely improving her offensive game, but man, she could pass the ball very well. I mean, you look kind of how that team was operated. She would bring the ball up and a lot of dimes, honestly, from her. Make great passes, and she was developing a good shot. She had shot a few threes in a few games that I'd seen, and she'd started making it. But, I mean, brutal injury, obviously. But you kind of saw them, without her last night. They still have some playmakers, still have girls that can score the ball. Obviously, Devea Johnson, very good. Nakia Fisher.
Mackenzie Dickinson.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dickinson playing some great ball. Obviously, that's a huge blow to the Lady Rebels, but it looks like they do have enough depth to get through that. Still, you feel for him because Emily Sims, I mean, she was definitely a huge part of that team, and you feel sad that she goes down with an injury in a season that they could make a state championship run, maybe. But yeah, huge blow, but still a big win against Monterey last night.
Yeah, no doubt. Head coach Zachary Tabor told me that last night was going to be a huge test for them. They have a crazy regular season schedule coming up with Amarillo High. Tomorrow night. So it's going to be a big one. We're going to stay on the women's basketball topic. WT Lady Buffs have a huge game coming up on Saturday against Texas Women's, number 3 in the nation. Both teams undefeated right now. WT at number 6. There's a lot on the line in this game. This game, the outcome is going to tell us a lot about where both teams are in the season right now. Max, you're going to be there. What are you most excited about with this game?
Definitely. Well, I hope there's a good atmosphere in this game. First of all, Buff Nation needs to show out for this game. One thing on the Texas women's side, Jaylee Moss played at Canyon. She's now playing at Texas Women's University, so she's coming back to Canyon, and it's a huge matchup, number 6 versus number 3. The Lady Buffs just got to do what they do. They're unselfish, find the open person to shoot the ball, but they pass so well, play great defense. They're just going to have to be on their best game against Texas Women's. This is a very talented team. I expect exactly what I see in the rankings. It's going to be a good matchup, but the Lady Buffs have had a phenomenal year so far. They've played great basketball. I expect this to be their toughest test so far, and it's going to be a great atmosphere for it as well.
Certainly the toughest test in the Lone Star Conference play action. 18-game winning streak right now, coming off of a huge one on the road against Eastern New Mexico, 84-83. Coach Josh Brock wants everybody to show out for that game, you told me last week. He wants everybody to come, so Buff Nation, you know what to do. I know Buff Faithful's really excited about this news, too.
Oh, man.
West Plains 4-year starting quarterback Reed Macon officially announced his commitment to play WT football. Huge grab by head coach Josh Lynn. We heard that he had offers from Midwestern State. We heard that WT had offered him. So we weren't sure where he was going to land. Glad he decided to stay in the 806. He's going to make a huge impact, a huge noise when he steps onto campus in the fall, Max. What are you hoping to see from him next year?
Yes, well, first of all, congrats to Reed. Glad he's staying in the 806. As far as stepping in, I mean, he could be a starter next year. Who knows what we'll see out of Reed, what they expect to get out of him, but he could be a 4-year starter. Who knows? In today's day and age, who knows if he transfers eventually. The transfer portal is a huge thing, obviously, but I mean, hey, maybe he wants to stay in the 806. Maybe he wants to make an impact for the Buffs. He's a great passer. I think they develop him well. Wants to represent his area, representing West Plains, representing Canyon still basically being from CISD. But I think he steps in, gives them the passing attack that they really need. Who knows? Maybe we see a 4-year starter in Reed Macon, and he is serving the Buff faithful for sure.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of talking points in the world of college football. We're going to tackle one of those next, so be sure to keep with us on What's at the Forefront. Welcome back into What's at the Forefront. Corin Davis, Max Preston here with us. College football season just wrapped up. Indiana claiming their first ever national title. Huge congratulations to them. But as we move into the offseason, obviously there have been questions of how is the college football playoff going to look next year and years to come. It was just announced that the CFP is choosing to keep it a 12-team format. We all know that everybody has opinions and beliefs on how this format has been and will be. So, Max, I've got to give you the floor first. What are you thinking about this decision to keep it a 12-team format?
I like the 12-team format. I mean, I think it's good. Obviously, the bye teams have not really done so well. For one win from a bye team, and that's Indiana, and they went on to win the national championship.
Sure.
Just a great season by them. But, you know, I think we were talking a little bit. You could go 16, and you could have no byes. But I think also you do got to reward the top 4 teams as well, give them a bye, even though, like I just said, they're not winning. But I'm good with the 12-team format. I think it works out just fine. I think what I have to debate is just how you bring in those last 2 teams. Are we going to stay with Group of 5? Are we going to move to something different as far as conference championships goes? Like the ACC champion did not get into the college football playoff, which was Duke, and then another team that wouldn't even play in the ACC championship got into the playoff. Given it was Miami, and they went to the national championship, and they had a chance to win the game. However, I just feel as a regular season standpoint, are we going to include the ACC as a Power 4 conference? Are we going to reward them and put them in the playoff if they win that conference? Are we going to move out Group of 5 teams? Are we going to bring in Group of 5 teams? We need to see something out of the Group of 5 teams at least.
Schedule somebody like an LSU or an Alabama during the regular season, beat them, and then they're in the question.
As a measurement, right?
Sure.
I mean, if they get blown out, obviously, okay, they can't compete with playoff teams. If they play close enough, okay, maybe they can, and they still have to go through their conference and win a lot of games. You know, maybe probably not win or not lose any games at all in their conference. So I just think we got to be more strict on the Group of 5 teams because. Not that JMU and Tulane were bad teams. It's just they got against the Power 4 teams
and one of them was
apart.
Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
So that caused a huge uproar as well.
And
Notre Dame opting out of a bowl game.
Yes.
So much so that they opted out of a bowl game. You have to look at that too, and they certainly did. Now, if Notre Dame finishes the regular season in the top 12, they automatically get a spot. Do you agree with how that is playing out right now?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think it's kind of a simple answer. Top 12 teams get in. Is that what we want to see? I think so. I think that's where we need to be, just because, like I said, Group of 5 comes in, doesn't really do a good job all the time, and we said would have Notre Dame, Texas, even BYU, Vanderbilt, would they have done a better job in those playoff games? I think so. Who knows exactly? I think Notre Dame definitely would have had a chance. I understand their frustration in going out of the bowl game. They were definitely a playoff team, in my opinion. But I think moving forward, maybe it is better to see the top 12 teams just overall, not trying to include the Group of 5. I think that's my opinion.
You also have to consider the scheduling in this. You're looking at it, teams are starting their season in July, and they're finishing in mid-January. A lot of coaches have been very outward about how they feel about this. Head coach Joey McGuire said in the post-game press conference at the Big 12 title game, he said, why are teams playing into the second semester? His team was beat up after that game. He was hoping they got a first-round bye, and they did. They were able to heal up. But the wear and tear on a player's body is huge, and if you want longevity in a team, you certainly want to be able to preserve that.
Definitely. All right, now we're going to put the playoffs on a pedestal 100%. Do we eliminate bowl games, like a week of bowl games, 2 weeks of bowl games, whatever it might be, and play those playoff games earlier and make the season shorter? I think that's a direction that we head in. I know there's a lot of those random bowl games that we could eliminate and just play those playoff games sooner. I think as far as longevity goes, that's really something you have to do.
Yeah, certainly. One more football game of the season coming up. We all know what that one is. Max Preston, our numbers guy, is here to tell us everything we need to know ahead of February 8th, and you won't want to miss this one. He's going to certainly set you up right. So stay here right with us on What's at the Forefront. Welcome back to What's at the Forefront. I'm Corin Davis, Max Preston here with the numbers. We are just days away from Super Bowl 60. I think a lot of people are excited about this one because it's not a Super Bowl maybe we saw coming in regards to who is featured in the Super Bowl. Seahawks erasing an 11-year drought in the big game. Patriots back for the 12th time in franchise history, the most in NFL history, which is huge. It gives us a lot of excitement, a lot of joy. Max is going to tell us what we need to know from a numbers standpoint going into February 8th. Max, what do you have on the board for us?
Yeah, so coming into the game, Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. I think that's a good start. I think the Seahawks maybe could even be a little higher than that, in my opinion. I think the Seahawks have shown that they're a talented, a dominant team this year. Sam Darnold, not a lot of people thought he was going to be, a true leader this year. I mean, even after he had a great year with the Vikings last year, he comes over to the Seahawks and does a great job. Obviously, has Jackson Smith and Jigbo, one of the best receivers in the NFL right now. So they've been really linking up all year long. But still, Sam Darnold making a Super Bowl appearance, which not a lot of people thought. Also on the other side, Patriots, Drake May, and only in his second season, first time in the playoffs, and he's already in the Super Bowl. So two quarterbacks that you're kind of like, not a likely Super Bowl story this year, but here they are. And whoever wins the Super Bowl, you're like, wow, good for you. I mean, like Sam Darnold, they were counting him out. Drake May, he's young, he's not ready yet, but here he is in the Super Bowl. So really, I mean, you look at it and there's both inexperience on both sides. You can understand why this could maybe be a close game. I still think the Seahawks are the better team. I'm going to take the 4.5. It did start at 3.5, and I was like, I'll definitely take that. 4.5, just one more point. So Seahawks win by 5, you win your bet. That's where we're at. And I think I could see them winning by 7, winning by a touchdown in this game just because they've got a lot of talented players on that roster. Patriots got a great defense as well, but man, the Seahawks defense is unbelievable this year. I like the Seahawks to win. Maybe they don't control the game. It's maybe a close game, but I can see the Seahawks just being the better team in this one.
Well, I also think they're not having to battle inclement weather. Think about the Patriots. That game was, I mean, the snowstorm that hit us certainly.
It was a frozen tundra by the fourth quarter. I mean, it was already, freezing, but man, the snow was coming down in the fourth quarter, and the score was just going to stay right where it was.
Speaking of score, you have to look at this game. Low scoring game in the AFC Championship, high scoring game in the NFC Championship. How do you think these two offenses will fare against their defensive opponents?
Yeah, that's why I think maybe it could be a close game because of the defenses and maybe a little bit of the inexperience in the playoffs. I mean, obviously the Super Bowl for both quarterbacks. It could be a very defensive battle. I could see the Seahawks offense really settling in and figuring out a way against the Patriots defense. However, I think Patriots defense has been very talented this year and could disrupt the Seahawks a little bit, but I think I could see the Seahawks offense prevailing more and then the Patriots offense having a tough time against that Seahawks defense. That's why I'm saying, hey man, I think we've got this -4.5 on the Seahawks. I think they will they'll prevail on the offensive side, and the Seahawks defense will take care of things.
I'm also curious, at the start of this season, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you predict that maybe the Seahawks would make it or the Patriots would make a Super Bowl appearance?
Both these teams, I think, were about, 30-1 odds, I think, to make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So I think we got two teams that were just far from you thought they were going to be Super Bowl. You're thinking the Chiefs, you're thinking the Bills maybe, you're thinking maybe the Eagles repeat. Anybody but the Patriots and the Seahawks, honestly. And I think we've got two unlikely teams. That's what makes it a great story this year, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yep, the excitement is surely boiling up as we near closer and closer to February 8th. That game kicks off at 5:30, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. I know many people in the area probably aren't traveling to that game. So if you're not, you can catch it on KAMR. We will be having that game, and then join us after at 10 o'clock for some excitement, especially in the sports segment. But yes, we appreciate you guys joining us for our first episode of What's at the Forefront. Max Preston, Corin Davis. We'll see you next time.